Hi, my name is Emily,
And hi, welcome. I'm Sean.
and today we are going to be talking about the basics of meditation. And so, the first thing that we're going to go over is the 7 point posture.
Yeah, the 7 point posture, you can utilize it to settle your body in, focus on different points to relax, and just again, get yourself grounded and get yourself moving inward as opposed to all the energies around us outward.
And so, a lot of the times, the first thing people ask is, why can't I lay down, or why should I be sitting up instead of lying down, since lying down can be more comfortable at times.
Yeah.
But so we want to sit up because we want to move our body into a state of rest, but also a state of alertness. So sometimes when we lie down, our body can go to sleep, or go into that mode where you're not as alert. And when you're meditating, you still want to be alert, but move your body into a rest and digest state.
Yeah, I find myself always wanting to lay down, and I feel like that's my inner ego like copping out of meditation. And
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with laying down if you're beginner, and and meditation is unknown or a little bit scary for you. Then I suggest maybe wrapping yourself up in a sweet, comfortable, supportive cocoon. But for the most part, to get I feel more of the benefits in particular meditations like guided and different forms of guides, sitting up would be a great way to start.
Awesome. Well, we'll go ahead and start going over the 7 point posture.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first thing that you want to do is find a comfortable seat, maybe a cushion or a pillow, and just really get your hips, like me and Sean have right here, elevated over the knees. That's where I find the most comfort a lot of the times. When your hips and your legs are equal, it's a little bit uncomfortable. So just finding that nice elevation and finding where your sit bones are. So maybe even removing any flesh out and just finding that real nice groundedness and connectiveness through the sit bones and legs.
Yeah, and especially if we're new to meditation, our bodies may be just a little tighter than we notice. So without a bolster, some of us may be just a little bit higher, and this will cause just a bit of disruption, not just within our hips, but within our mind during the meditation. So better to be comfortable.
And another way to sit too that I find a lot of beginners like is kind of in a modified hero's pose. So you can bring the legs in a pillow or whatever you have at home, allowing that to be in between the legs, still resting your sit bones on the cushion, but now just bending the knees and the shins will come by the side. So this can also provide a lot of comfort too, and is another really good seated position.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then moving on from there. So, a great way to remember these steps, besides coming back and watching the video, of course, but is working from the ground up. So, as we continue to move, we started from our hip space. And secondly, we can start to run up through our navel and then elevating our chest and finding more of that straight and honoring our spine. So from here, again, we don't want to be too rounded and then chin forward, or some of us, like myself, have the tendencies to just really arch. So guiding your navel in and then extending your heart space slightly up.
Yeah, and you'll feel a nice expansion through the heart space. So a lot of the times we find that just in life, a lot of us are hunched over, either looking at our phones or maybe just more of a guarded stance. So you want that heart space to be open with the shoulders relaxed down and finding that nice S curvature of the spine. So from the base of the skull all the way down to the tailbone, finding that nice S shape.
Perfect. I love it. No, I'm like, oh yeah, let me just sit up and get in my spot.
You'll feel nice and strong through the spine, but also this sense of softness too, of, I'm relaxed, but yet I'm alert and I'm in this stance of being ready to meditate.
Yeah, and again, as we get started, certain things take some experience and take some just repetition. So don't beat yourself up. We're here again to meditate, and meditation, we try to bring ourselves peace and kindness from within. So at any point, if you want to like practice these as we go through them, if you want to kind of just sit and breathe with your belly slightly in and then lifting your navel, you can also take one hand to your back and work on arching the spine and just working in. So just different exercises to get you in, play with it a little bit, because there's no perfect way to meditate, just your way to be comfortable.
Yeah, and moving on now, we'll come to our jaw and our chin and our tongue. And so you want to release the jaw by separating the top and bottom lips slightly. So you'll find that when you do that, automatically your jaw will relax. And so when you're beginning to meditate or starting your meditation practice, you might even want to open the jaw and kind of move it side to side. A lot of us have a lot of tension there built up. So just kind of releasing some of that tension and then just allowing the top and bottom lip to relax. And coming to our tongue, we want to release the tongue from the roof of the mouth and allow the tongue to rest behind the top two front teeth. So behind the top two front teeth, there's a little ledge there that you can just place the tip of your tongue on. And this is actually a pressure point to kind of move yourself into a more relaxed but also concentrated state.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I would be surprised how much jaw tension we have from, just holding on to things. Moving forward from there. Speaking of chin and jaw, a couple different ways that we can work with the head and neck. So a lot of us seem to be here, and again, rounding in our back, playing with our phones and such. So it may be comfortable for you to keep your upright spine with your shoulders rolled back and just bringing your chin to your chest. This might feel comfortable for you to open through the back of your neck, or quite possibly staying parallel, chin to hip. So that way we know that our heads aren't too sideways or too far back or too far forward, and just keeping a nice lift, everything from chest to shoulders back to chin being neutral or slightly tucked.
So now coming to the crown of the head. And so you want to feel almost like there's a string attached to the top of your crown. And this string is pulling you up, kind of elongating everything, elongating your spine, your neck. And not too much here, so you don't want to feel like you're coming out of your sit bones. You still want to feel grounded through those sit bones, but just lengthening slightly there through the crown of the head.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, unless it's a somewhat focused meditation where you're staring at a flame or something nice like flowers, we'll close our eyes. And closing our eyes, we tend to go inward more. We start to become more aware of what's going on in our mental process, as opposed to kind of looking around at stuff while we're trying to meditate. So always having, again, just something nice to focus on, which is great to keep your concentration, but more so to go inward, I would say we would close our eyes and soften through the eyelids.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, closing the eyes is obviously something that you definitely want to try to do, but if you have some sort of trauma or aren't comfortable closing your eyes, you can always find a nice soft gaze, maybe at the floor, and just kind of allowing the eyelids to relax. But if you want to keep them open, you're more than welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, amazing. And then in some of the meditations you'll see throughout the Breathe catalog, some teachers will bring in mudras, or some teachers will say, rest your palms down to ground in, or rest your palms facing up to receive. And it's just a nice way to, again, honor your physical self, because some days forearms and elbows and palms, you might need a grounding in practice. And then other days, if it's a topic that's really speaking to you, you might want to keep your palms lifted up just to get more of that energy and more of the essence from the meditation.
Yeah. Cool. I I guess we'll go ahead and try this.
Let's try them out.
And
Let's.
then we'll talk also more about our own personal meditation practices and kind of what got us going or how we started, just to give you guys a little bit of advice. But do you want to do the 7 points?
Yeah, let's go through the 7 points again. So find your comfortable seat, and we'll just do maybe like a minute or two meditation just to get you going. And then from there, the world is your oyster. You can sit as long as you'd like. Okay, so I always like to say sit up nice and tall to get started, and notice your seat first off. If you're kind of leaning over to one side and then the other, you can do that for a moment, taking a few rocks and then just settling in to your comfortable grounding seat. Take a big deep breath in, start to expand within your belly and your heart space lifting up. And a big deep breath out. Guide your navel slightly in, but keep your chest lifted from your breath in. And then on your next inhale, expand within your belly and your heart and lift your shoulders up into your ears. And big exhale, roll your shoulders down. Keep your heart opening with the breaths and your navel strong and lifted. As you continue to breathe here, notice your jaw, where you can soften by opening your teeth and lips. And then resting your tongue behind your two front teeth, lightly close off your lips and teeth. Honoring where your head and neck is in space, either chin slightly tucked to open the nape of your neck or just parallel to your heart space. Voice and throat is open. As our Miss Emily said, start to think of that string to the crown of your head lifting up and eyes softly shutting. And our minute meditation will just be on inner awareness. Inner awareness here, just seeing what's going on, what's running through your thought patterns, not necessarily placing your attention strictly on one or the other. Noticing inner connection to physical, if everything is feeling nice and good and open in place, or if you want to use any consoling breaths to move air into certain spaces. And really all we're doing here is noticing certain thoughts, ones that may stick out, and ones that may pull our attention away from where we are here in space. And rest your palms up or down. It's comfortable for you. And as you're ready, gently nod your chin to your chest, bring your hands to your heart space, and gently open your eyes.
Thank you. That was amazing.
So proud of you guys.
Yeah. And so meditation can be really, really hard at first. Doing just 5 minutes a day is kind of, I feel like, a good place to start. I don't know how you started, but
yeah, everyone's different. You can add, even if the sitting is still a little bit ways away, you can always add a little bit more mindfulness into the things you're doing in your daily routine, in your passions. Just, I notice sometimes when I just want to get something done, I go through the motions, but when I really want to ingrain something, I really have to stay the course. And yeah,
Yeah, kind of create a habit.
Yeah, kind of create a habit out of it and really spend time on one certain thing. And if that's the one certain thing that you spend time on, then just breathe and bring a little bit more awareness, mindfulness to it.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate on mindfulness in
Oh,
your world?
well, I guess. So for me, I noticed that when I start off the day with even just a short meditation, whether that's
Mhm.
just 5 minutes of sitting, becoming aware of how my body's doing that morning, I carry that through the remainder of my day. And I think a lot of people think that they have to start off by meditating, 30, 45 minutes or however long a day, but you can just start off with 5 minutes, and maybe that's just 5 minutes of silence, or if you want to do a meditation on breathe at home, we have so many that you have access to, um, and just starting your day off on that note, maybe going downstairs or wherever you live, and getting, doing your little morning routine, and then stopping and just sitting with yourself in the morning. I think that's the best. That's always what I tell people. The best thing to do is just right off the bat start your day in that mindful headspace. Yeah.
I would have to agree. The morning time, our brains aren't quite on the run or on the go yet, unless you're just that type of go person, which that would be great then as well for morning meditations, just to kind of set your intention for the day or set up your goal for the day, or really just anything. And if plans change, it's completely okay, but it's still just honoring what's good for you in that moment.
Yeah, and I think also creating a space that is kind of designated as, your personal meditation or journaling or whatever it may be space is also a really good thing to do. I don't know if you have a personal meditation space, but
I've over this last month, I've really created a couple different ones.
yeah.
And it's been great. It's been frustrating and it's been annoying because it's easy when everything is right there to go
Right.
to, and right now it's not easy for anyone um, in any way, shape, or form. So these meditations, we really hope to reach out to you guys, and again, everything from beginners to whatever level or style you're looking for. I think we have a wide variety. I know we have a wide variety of amazing teachers and amazing knowledge that can help you with what you're feeling or what you're going through in that particular moment. We can help you get through. So
Yeah, and I think another thing just to touch on is a lot of people when they start meditating, they feel like they aren't allowed to move, and that's a big thing that we try to emphasize at Breathe when people come into our studio. Is that you're more than welcome to move anytime throughout the meditation if you feel uncomfortable, if maybe your leg fell asleep or anything. You are allowed to move, especially when you're first starting. I know that's sometimes the hardest thing is just like finding a comfortable position to be in.
exactly. And creating the space for you to be in your home is very important, and then creating the space within your body is very important too. So if your mind is constantly thinking on something, and something that's tweaking you or something that's kind of talking to you, an itch, even, it doesn't have to be a certain discomfort or anything like that, but again, it's not about staying the longest with your eyes closed. It's really just about being comfortable and bringing your awareness to what's going on already, and to some things that may start to come up that we may have to deal with.
Yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, this concludes.
And just stick with your practice, even if it's just for a couple minutes a day. Creating a habit is something that I think will last you for a lot longer than you think. Just
Yeah.
keep doing it every day, and Yeah, we'll see you again soon.
We hope to see you again soon. I'm Sean here at Breathe.
I'm Emily. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.